All right, welcome back to another episode of Behind the Podcast. And for those of you who've been keeping up, this is our sixth episode and it's titled Fast Cars, Bottle Service in Jail, Details Mattered in Healthcare. And Jay, maybe for those who hadn't seen it, maybe you can kind of give the why we decided to do this episode first.
Yeah, we did this episode because it really did involve some complex regulatory stuff, but I think more importantly, it was just you couldn't write a better set of characters for any kind of story that we were dealing with. I mean, the things that we dealt with, the lies, the just some of the things they've said, just our interactions with them. I mean, you really can't make them up. I mean, for any transactional attorney out there, this is one of those good cocktail story moments. And so when they came in looking to do a deal, and we worked with them over the several months to get this deal in place, things that could go wrong did go wrong, and it was a highly entertaining yet challenging time working with these individuals.
Yeah, and I'll agree. Some of the fun things I was thinking about when I actually obviously was there for the podcast, but when I re-listened to it most recently, it was just fun reliving it again. And I think you summed it up best. It was a struggle when we were there, but looking back, us transaction guys, we don't have the greatest stories of all time, but this is a fun one that we could look back and kind of giggle about.
Yeah, I agree. It took me back when we were talking about it, just that feeling. I even said in the podcast something about feeling like you need to take a shower after you meet with them. And it totally took me back to it. And it reminded me that we didn't talk about it in the episode, but I'm sure y'all both remember when we were having another meeting with them and they went through this whole thing about a contract and then threw in, well, one thing I didn't mention is, what if I was sleeping with the person on the other side? And I was just like, of course you were. Of course you were. Yes, that does affect things.
Yes, it does change the entire analysis of 45 minutes. And the other thing I thought was funny, which thinking back to one of the things we talk about a lot in this episode, and this is for our clients in general, is we always talk about form versus substance, which is also going back to the statement I threw out, which is all hat, no cattle, which is the concept is, a lab with no equipment in it is really not a lab, or a management company with no people in it is really not a management company. And so I think the no hat, no cattle goes really well with this episode.
Yeah, and normally we run into clients who, you'll say that and they get it, and there may be a little bit of change, but I mean, these guys just had absolutely no desire to do anything that we were going to say. And as soon as we told them what to do, I mean, you and I would sometimes look across the table and just, connection wise, we knew they're not going to listen to a word we just said. They're going to walk out and do whatever they want.
Yeah, and that's
the ender always is when they say, how do we legally pay for patient referrals? That's you're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah. And obviously, we won't give anything away if you haven't heard the episode yet. But the number of red flags being built up led to us making some decisions. So listen to the episode to find out. But that I think the point is that when you get to that point, you know what to do with that particular client. Michael, Jay, any other great takeaways?
No, I mean, I think when you listen to the episode, I think it's going to get hammered home, the form and substance, and you're going to understand what we mean every time we say it. So for those of you who have heard it or will hear it, it'll be very familiar to you. But I think it's just an entertaining story. I think everybody will enjoy it.
Excellent. All right. Well, thanks again for joining us. And we look forward to the next time we get to talk to you about our next episode.
Thank you.